Pallavi Tandon, Faculty of English at SRN International School. Welcome to the official YouTube channel. Today we will be learning about Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice. In this poem, he expresses the profound idea that the world would end in either of the two ways, either by ice or fire. Both the components are compared with self-destructing human emotions, hatred and desire. Now, let us know about the poet Robert Frost. Robert Frost was an American poet and winner of 4 Pulitzer Prizes. His famous works include Fire and Ice, Mending Wall, Birches, Out, Out, Nothing Gold Can Stay, and so on. Some of his most famous poems are The Road Not Taken, Birches, Mending Wall, Home Burial, The Death of the Hired Man, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, Acquainted with the Night. He has written many beautiful poetries, which is worth reading and understanding because he has written those poetries with deep insight. During his lifetime, Frost received more than 40 honorary degrees. In 1924, Frost was awarded his first of 4 Pulitzer Prizes for his book New Hampshire. He would subsequently win Pulitzers for collected poems in 1931, A Further Range in 1937, and A Witness Tree 1943. Now let me tell you the theme of the poem. The poem very artistically underpins the philosophy that we let our emotions rule us as if don't control them. They'll surely destroy everything around us. The poet shares the common belief that everything that exists will have its end too. Fire and Ice is an extremely compact little lyric. The question is whether the world will end in fire or ice. Now, let me summarize the poem. Poet shares the common belief through this symbolic poem where fire is used as the emotion of desire and ice that of hatred. If fire would lead to rapid destruction, ice would lead to silent damage. Similarly, if fire is pure passion, ice is pure reason. The poem very artistically underpins the philosophy that we let our emotions rule us, and if we don't control them, they will surely bring us on all of them at the verge of chaos. Poet has experienced both these emotions. It doesn't matter how the world will end. Even hate born out of cold and icy reason is sufficient to cause destruction and the end of the world. Now, let us understand the poem through paraphrasing. Now, let me explain you line number 1 to 4. It says, some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Here, in these 4 lines, the poet, through this poem, expresses the profound idea that world would end in either of 2 ways, either by ice or fire. One group is of the opinion that someday the Earth's core will get so heated up that it would lead to fire, destroying the Earth's surface. On the other hand, the second group says that if the temperature goes down to an extent that makes life on Earth impossible, it would have the same catastrophic effect. The poet then compares fire and ice with the destructive features of human emotions, desire and hatred. He says that from what he is aware about fiery desires, he would favor the ones who say that it would be fire. By saying so, he brings about the idea that human beings let their emotions rule them and the consequences of unmonitored longing and chaos. Now, let's proceed to line number 5 to 9. And it says, but if it had To perish twice, I think I know enough of hate. To say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. So, in these lines, the poet means then by not waiving off the first option of fire, he considers if the world has to expire twice, ice would be equally competent in ending it. He brings about a contrast between ice and hatred. The human capability of insensitivity and hatred has the potential for inner destruction. Though slow and steady, it has the same effect that desire has on us. So, if given an option between fire and ice, ice would be just as good as fire to destroy the world. Now, we will be learning about various literary devices which are used in this poem. So, the very first literary device, if we talk about, is the rhyming scheme. And the rhyming scheme of the poem goes A, B, A, B, C, and B, C, B. Then we have assonance. It is repetition of the vowel sound in the same line. That is, I hold with those who favor fire. Then we have alliteration, repetition of a consonant sound at the start. And you will come across the words like favor, fire, or world will. So you can see F, F is repeated and W, W is repeated. And we have another literary device called imagery, just where we perceive things involving their five senses. Like some say the world will end in fire. Then we have personification as well in this poem. And personification is that literary device where human qualities are presented to inanimate objects. For example, fire and ice are capable of destruction. Now, we will be proceeding towards the analysis of the poem Fire and Ice. So through this poem, Fire and Ice, Robert Frost, who has presented this shortest poem, has given the reader much to ponder on. Although the complete poem is written in a very casual tone with glitches, it introduces to the reader the profound idea that world could end with the emotions like hatred. I hope, students, you have understood the poem. If you have find it helpful, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.